Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. Looking for the best court clips that you missed this week? They're right here. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
Caster, case number 24-05774-DO, present in the virtual courtroom. We have both parties and Attorney Kristen Britt representing the plaintiff, Ms. Caster. Mr. Caster is representing himself. We are here on the plaintiff, Ms. Caster's motion for temporary relief. I have read the motion. Ms. Britt.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before we get started, I'd just like to say that I did give some medical information under seal to the court, and anything related to that medical privacy, I'd request that we stop the recording and go separately offline with that if that comes up and we need to. Okay.
Yes, we will do that.
Thank you so much.
Make sure you say something so that Ms. Van Miller knows to stop the stream.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. So just a couple things to add. I'm not going to repeat anything that's been stated in the motion. I know that you thoroughly review those. But a lot of the claims that I have received in response from Mr. Caster directly to me after the filing, we've got so many stories going here. It's almost impossible to keep track of them.
All right, let me stop you for just a moment and just indicate the court has not received any written response.
Correct, Your Honor,
from Mr. Caster. Okay.
That's true. These were emails, Your Honor, directly to me,
as
counsel, because as you'll recall, we are needing to communicate with Mr. Caster via email because we don't have a positive address for him. We had a service problem, and he agreed on the record last hearing that he could be served via email. So that's why the communications have been, I think, via email. But you're correct. I've received no formal response, but these are emails directly to me, which are obviously not protected, confidential information. Related to his work, he claims just since 9/12 of this year when I filed this motion, he has claimed that he couldn't make the hearing because he was working in Canada. He claimed that he was living in Chicago. He claimed he was homeless living out of his vehicle. He's also, on pleadings in this case, filed that he was living in Romeoville, which I believe is in Illinois. And then even this year, he set up a new business in Tennessee, and it put on there that his principal personal address was in Kingston Springs, Tennessee. So he's all over the place on that. On the work issue, he claims he's not working. He claims he's working in Canada. He claims he was hired by Ms. Ford to do PR work for her. Then he says it's untrue that he is not involved in construction. So again, he's all over the board. There are pictures recently, since even this submittal to the court, showing Facebook postings on Ms. Ford's Facebook selling the tools that I had brought up in my motion. There's pictures of him there with a new drone. There's indications now that he's trying to sell the truck that he has no right to sell. And the list goes on. And I can get into a lot more details with that. One of the things I brought up in my motion, Your Honor, that I would like to clarify a little bit is my concern about privacy in this case. Mr. Caster has, since the filing of the motion, attempted to deceive medical providers to receive my client's medical information without her permission. He has sent and posted false medical information about her to other people on social media. And as you saw from my motion, he has used my client's credit cards for all these personal purposes without her permission. I'm very concerned about submitting my client's verified financial information form to this person who is likely to take this information and use it for nefarious purposes. He's continued to do this over and over. Again, Your Honor, the list of the things and the proof with all the different people involved here is insane. I've spoken with Attorney Mary Benedict, who I know the court knows well. She is willing to step in on this case as the mediator and be the discovery master for purposes of managing the release of information to be sure that there's no risk of privacy violations there or any risk for my client of more misuse of her information. So that's what I'm really asking for the court on that issue. I'm happy to expand, but Mary has agreed to take that role on, even though it is an expanded role beyond a normal mediator.
Thank you, Mr. Caster. As I said, I haven't received any written response from you. What is your response to the motion?
Your Honor, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I respectfully request a continuance. Um, I've recently been diagnosed with stage 3 brain cancer, which has been spreading to my lungs and my lymphatic system. I'm currently working with a medical team, which I did send to the plaintiff's attorney of medical power of attorney and living will. My condition has greatly impacted my ability to think cognitively and represent myself in these proceedings. And I'm actively seeking legal counsel. So I know this is a very serious matter, and there's a lot of things all over the board. There's fake accounts, fake social media accounts, and none of those photos or anything that's been submitted to the court or anything relevant to my current situation.
Do you oppose the suggestion that Ms. Benedict be appointed as a mediator and a discovery master to manage all this information?
No, but I need 60 to 90 days to deal with my health and obtain proper legal counsel. I'm talking to Sean Cox right now. Yeah.
Ms. Brett, do you have any response to that?
Your Honor,
Basically, it's to an adjournment.
yes, thank you, Your Honor. I diametrically am opposed to that. Mr. Castor has put on quite a show for the court today, and it's impressive. However, he has sent me some purported medical documents that don't even show they're him. And even this document that he claims to have a certain type of tumor is not a cancerous tumor, even if he even has it. So this is all a ploy. He just, as soon as this last week, has been trying to get my client's father fired from his job, making false claims. This man is a master of manipulation. He has done this to woman after woman after woman. Those people are prepared to testify as to that. And this show that you're receiving right now is pretty impressive and completely false.
All right, well, I'm going to deny the request for the adjournment. The fact that it's coming today as opposed to earlier, the fact that there was no response filed whatsoever, even a phone call or an email or anything.
I did email the clerk.
Sir,
yes.
Mr. Castor, please stop.
Yeah.
I am going to grant the motion in its entirety and including appointing a discovery master. Mr. Castor, I would be very happy if you obtained an attorney. I think Ms. Britt would as well. It will make this case go much better and much more smoothly. And that attorney will know what to do from there. But for today, I am going to grant the motion, and mainly because of all of the shenanigans that have occurred prior to this. And Ms. Britt, will you prepare the order?
I will, and I will submit it under the 7-day rule, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
What is the motion?
Thank you.
Sure. It's me, Alaska.
Please be seated.
I made it. Alaska made it. Alaska's here.
Next matter is 23 CRB 1134, State of Ohio versus Robert Pardue. Mr. Pardue is present without counsel. Mr. Cox here on behalf of the Law Director's Office.
Alaska's right here.
We're scheduled for a trial in this matter today. Mr. Cox, care to address the situation?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Mr. Pardue appeared. He appeared to be under the influence of something. We contacted probation department. Probation department has administered a breath test. Mr. P has told us it's a .202 reading on that machine. So based on that, we can't do anything today with Mr. Pardue based on his state. Ask the court to revoke his bond until he's sober. Thank you.
Okay.
Don't make me come back. I'll pay the fine. Alaska made it today. Hey, I did time in Licking County every time. Every time. People in Licking County know who Alaska is, and I called everyone my family. Everyone in Licking County is my family.
Okay, Mr. Pardue. Well, you're under the influence today. I can hold you in contempt. The prosecutor's just asking me to revoke your bond, which is what I'm going to do.
Oh, so you're gonna lock me up?
Yep. I will revoke your bond. Mr. Cox, you have a recommendation, bond recommendation?
I'd ask for $7,500 bond at this
Okay.
point, Judge.
Stand up, please. Turn around. Put your hands on the table. Spread your legs.
And you're Don Barkley?
Yes, I am.
Ms. Barkley, you're here today in case number 2024 CR 85, where you have been charged with one count of interference with law enforcement. This claims that on or about September 23rd of this year, you feloniously and knowingly obstructed, resisted, or opposed multiple law enforcement officer in the service, execution, or the attempt to serve or execute an arrest and search warrant, or in the discharge of an official duty in the case of a felony to arrest Sam Mitchell, pursuant to arrest a warrant for attempted second-degree murder. This is a severity level 9 felony and is punishable by up to 17 months in the state penitentiary and a fine of up to $100,000. Do you understand this charge and the possible penalty?
No, I don't.
Okay, well,
We asked them for a warrant.
Okay.
And to let them in. We did not know he was there.
okay, well, now, I'm not asking you if you did this, and I'm asking you if you understand the charge. Now, I can try to explain the charge. You've been charged with this count. And I also will tell you, if you'll let me proceed, if you understand the charge, this is only an allegation. You have the right to have a trial on this matter where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed this offense. And it's their burden to prove that you actually committed this. And you have the right to have an attorney. And if you can't afford an attorney, the court will appoint you one. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, what I want to go back to is, now I'm not asking you to make any comment about your guilt. In fact, I would advise you not to discuss the facts of this case with me, because you might say something that incriminates you, and part of my job is to look out for your rights as well. But what you are charged with is interfering with law enforcement officers as they were trying to execute an arrest, a search warrant against Sam Mitchell. Do you understand that it's an accusation, but do you
Yes,
understand?
I understand that.
Okay. And if you would be convicted of this, you could be sentenced to up to 17 months in the state penitentiary and fined up to $100,000. I just want you to understand the charge and the possible penalty, and also your rights to a trial to contest this. So do you understand all that?
Yes, now I do.
Okay.
This is my first time. I've never done this stuff before.
No, I understand. And I always want to explain things to people when they come. I don't want people leaving court saying what just happened. I want you to understand this. So, what we're here today is to figure out how you would like to proceed in this matter, especially as it relates to legal counsel. Do you plan on hiring your own attorney? Do you need me to appoint you an attorney?
I might be an attorney. I appreciate it.
Okay, and do you, we're going to give you an application that you need to fill out, but I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that will allow us to continue with this. And then I'm going to tell you some, a kind of a problem we're having that I'm hoping to resolve here very quickly. So, are you currently employed?
No, I'm disabled.
Okay. Now, because you don't have any income, I'm going to approve your appointment of a court-appointed attorney. Here's my problem. Because of different court cases and different people who have been involved with you or are involved in this case, most of our local attorneys have conflicts already, and I found, I believe it's your husband. I found him an attorney. We've reached out to several attorneys around our area and just haven't heard back from them. We're going to find one who doesn't have a conflict, who can give you the best representation possible. I don't have a name for you right now, but as soon as I get one, hopefully by the end of the day or at least early next week, we'll get somebody, and then you can contact them, and then you can talk about anything with your attorney, because anything you tell them is privileged. The reason I don't want you talking to me is this is a public hearing, and you might say something that could be used against you later. So as soon as we get you an attorney, I will appoint that person, and we will let you know so you can talk to them. And we're trying to do it as soon as possible. We were trying yesterday, and so and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you for your next court hearing on October 3rd, Thursdays when we have court at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And hopefully by then you'll have spoken to your attorney. Do you have any questions? I'm seeing you shake your head no on that. So I just want to make sure I understand.
I
Okay.
understand everything now.
Okay. Thank you very much. And we will see you next Thursday, and hopefully you'll be able to talk to an attorney before then.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Wait, let's put it on Mr. Schmidt week. October 24th, Mr. Paul, can you do a status conference at 10:45?
I can, Your Honor.
All right, 10:45, October 24th, 10:45, October 24th. Mr. Hubble, you can call in like you did here today. And you can just let me know. I just want the confirmation that you've done what you need to do. And then we're just going to set this for a plea and sentencing. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This fucking phone has got it.
All good.
Mr. Dawes, today's hearing is being recorded. Anything you say can be used against you in the future. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you can make an application for a court-appointed attorney. I have a complaint here charging you with public indecency. Did you receive a copy of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you need me to read it to you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Maximum penalty is 30 days in jail and a $250 fine. You have any question about that charge?
No.
How would you like to plead today?
No contest.
All right, you understand if the facts in the complaint and the police report are sufficient to convict you of that offense, I'd find you guilty today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You understand you're waiving your right to an attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I actually don't entirely understand public indecency. Is that a sexual offense?
It's not one you have to register for in this case, I don't think.
Okay, so if I had to pop a squat in a tactical location, it's not going to take away my access to smart devices?
I don't know the answer to that to offhand.
Okay, well...
Do you want to speak to an attorney?
Yeah, let's do innocent just in case. Because on my copy here it says did recklessly under circumstances in which his conduct was likely to be viewed by and affront others. I don't think that the did recklessly is actually appropriate. I think that taking a tactical knee and moving outside of the I actually do not think that clause in said instance is accurate. Is it reasonable for me to change my plea at this time?
If you want to plead not guilty, you can enter a not guilty plea today.
Not guilty, please.
Okay. You want to say anything before I set your bond?
No, Your Honor.
Where do you live?
West Seattle.
Seattle?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you been here?
I was just out for the weekend.
Some of the festival food didn't sit well with my stomach, and I saw a bucket and I moved it behind a building and was relieving myself.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so what were you concerned about, pleading? You said electronic devices?
So it did recklessly is inaccurate here. At no point did I recklessly expose myself. I think relocating equipment to use facilities in need.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just wrong in that instance. I'm an American, and I did not recklessly under circumstances where if you had an optic and were viewing with the intent to view my private parts, you may have seen it while I was getting ready to sit down, but did recklessly is inaccurate. And to that I would not say I did. What do you think? Would you consider that recklessly?
I can't give you legal advice.
Okay. What about English advice? Would you consider that reckless if we were just defining the word of reckless in English sense? While legal may not. How about grammatical?
It's the same thing in this matter. Okay.
Okay, well, I'm glad that we're aligned on that. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I'll set your bond at $1,500, cash surety 10%. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can. How are you guys doing today?
Okay, and what is your name, please?
Trenton Richard Raposa.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Raposa. All right, we are live on the record in case 24-2448FY. Mr. Raposa, you are zooming in with us from the Grand Traverse County Jail today for purposes of arraignment. And let's see, we have Attorney Claxton present with us as well. She is a defense attorney here to assist you through this process. And Ms. Claxton, it's my understanding that you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Raposa about the allegations in this complaint, the nature of the offense, the maximum possible penalty associated with it, his rights.
Yes.
And how would he like to proceed?
So we'll waive a formal reading of all of that. He'll be pleading not guilty and requesting court-appointed counsel.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. And just as you were informed by Ms. Claxton, I do want to remind you that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. You have the right to a trial, and you have the right to the assistance of an attorney and to have that attorney present for all questioning and any subsequent court proceedings. So to that end, I'd like to complete a petition with you. I do need to swear you in. So if you would please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the information you're about to give me is the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. You may put your hand down. And let's see here. What is a good mailing address for you?
So that was the whole thing. I just went through this because I just did Wexford Zoom court. I guess my mail is getting returned from the address that I thought would be okay. It's my grandparents' address. So I'm going to give you a different one that should be more reliable. because that was part of the problem.
Okay. Okay, and do you know that zip code?
49646.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And let's see here. So where are you residing?
So listen, the last time I was here, I was homeless. You guys had picked me off the streets, whatever. Well, now I have my own place. I'm working. I work in town at Little Caesars, but I just quit because I'm gonna go start at Taproots Winery. I got a job offer for 40 grand a year, so I want to start there. I live at a hotel for 1,200 a month. Everything's included. It was easy and quick to get in.
Excuse.
My girlfriend works. She lives with me. She doesn't have no charges. Never doesn't do drugs. Super good girl.
Okay, that's sufficient. That's sufficient. Thank you. All right,
Sorry.
so we have a mailing address. We have, you're renting, it's 1,200 a month. What's your legal marital status?
Not married yet.
Do you have any minor children or dependents you support?
I'm not sure. I was told I did, but you don't know till you know.
So, let me ask you this. What's a good telephone number to reach you?
My girlfriend's, it's going to be 231.
And do you use email?
I do.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So you don't work at Little Caesars currently.
No.
Let's see.
I missed my interview today. That was the crappy part about being locked up, but it's okay because I'm clean now. I'm good. I'm on my level head. So, and I got money to pay my test this time. So last time you guys, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. That's sufficient. So, it looks like, so we have two cases. So we've got the felony case as well as the misdemeanor case, and I'm looking, the case number in here is funny. All right, so do you have any source of income or support right now besides, I know you said you have a job interview that you can.
I'm also a mechanic too. My grandpa owns in Calcasas on Pro Road. I do mechanic as a side work too, and I make a couple $100 a car, So I do make money doing that. And my girlfriend works at Arby's as a manager, so she brings income into the house.
Okay. And do you own any real estate or vehicles?
No, not at the moment.
Do you have any money in a checking account, a savings account, any cash on hand, or any digital currency?
My girlfriend might have some money. That's all. I didn't bring any money with me.
Okay, but you don't have any money of your own in a bank account?
No, not for bond or nothing like that. No, ma'am.
Nope. This would be savings or just money
I don't
that you
a bank
have.
account. Nope.
All right. Thank you. And the court is going to appoint an attorney for you. So this is regarding case 242448FY1. And let's see. Paperwork that I have. Are you currently on bond or probation?
No.
Parole?
No probation or parole. I was on bond. It got revoked because I didn't pee. I called my bond officer, and what had happened was when I got
All right, that's sufficient. That is sufficient. I'm
sorry.
That's okay.
It's really stressful.
All right. So for this case, Ms. Claxton, is there anything that you'd like to talk about? I'm going to to schedule a probable cause conference and a preliminary examination, and then we're going to set bond. Do you have anything that you'd like to tell me about Mr. Raposa?
Yes, just in speaking with him, we did have a chance to review why his bond was originally revoked. It looked like he missed a couple of urine screens. He did indicate that he didn't have the money to pay for those tests. It also looks like in the misdemeanor file, he missed a court date, which I know we're going to deal with next, but he indicated, that his mail is being returned. And so he's now given the court a good mailing address. He now has money. He has more jobs lined up. I know he said that he lost his job. He's going to have money moving forward. So I think that he can comply with bond moving forward if the court would consider reinstating his original bond.
Okay, so let me pull this up because
Thank you so much for that, Kelly. Thank you.
okay, so we're here for a bench warrant arraignment. As well as an arraignment for the underlying charge. Okay, and did you speak with Mr. Raposa about the possible consequences associated with the bench warrant?
Yes, and it's my understanding he would waive his right to a hearing and plead guilty to the alleged violations.
Okay,
yes, Your Honor.
Thank you for that. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to schedule a probable cause conference, and that will be on Tiff, do we have a date for PCC?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I apologize. I'm kind of confused. I'm sorry, Magistrate.
That's okay.
I have dates, but I don't. This would be with.
This is Judge Stepka.
So probable cause on 10/10, and then would the prelim be on 10/4, or is it the other way around?
The other way around.
Okay.
So PCC would be 10/4 and prelim on 10/10.
Okay, and we will get you some paperwork with that on it. Okay. And so initially on the other bond, you were instructed to live with your grandparents during the pendency of the case.
They wouldn't let me live with them. That was the whole situation. Now I live by myself. I live at the room 105 at the North American Inn Hotel in Kalkaska.
Okay.
I pay $1,200.
So, okay. So what we'll do is we're going to give you, so how did you come to have contact with the police to be arrested?
Honestly, I was at the Cowhole Lounge and I was playing pool and I walked outside to smoke, and they just surrounded me. I guess somehow someone had made an anonymous tip and said I was there. That's what Beaver told me. But they just surrounded me. There was no confrontation or nothing. They just heard that I had 2 warrants. I was just walking down the street, and all I heard the officer yell was, "Raposa, stop! You got warrants in Wexford and Traverse City." And then I
All right,
stopped.
that's sufficient. That's sufficient. So you do have something going on in Wexford. So do you have a bond there, or you have to have that resolved?
I already have that taken care of. I got a bond set up, and I have enough money. My girl has enough money to do 1 bond, and it's $1,000 cash surety. So that one I do have taken care
Mr.
of.
Raposa, I asked you earlier if you were on bond, probation, parole, anywhere else.
I'm not yet. No, I have to get out of this room and make a phone call. They just gave me my bond 20 minutes ago.
Okay, that's a bond. You're on a bond.
No, I'm not on bond
Whether
yet.
you post it or not, whether you post it or not, you're on
I'm
a
sorry.
bond.
That was my own ignorance. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
And that's in Wexford.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry about that. That's my own ignorance.
That's okay. All right. Here's what we'll do.
I said no money.
I'm going to set this at $1,000 10% bond. So you're getting credit for the time that you're serving on the Wexford County matter if you, for whatever reason, can't post that. I am going to ask that you not consume or possess any alcohol, no illegal drugs, no mind or mood altering substances, no marijuana, no non-prescribed drugs. You're not to use or possess or have on your person any drug paraphernalia. You're going to be required to submit to discretionary breath tests. And I do want you to submit to a benchmark urine screen and discretionary testing if you're asked to complete any additional
Your Honor,
testing beyond that. You're not to
Could
use
I
or
ask
possess.
that if I do get released that I can pee in Kalkaska? Because it's really hard for me to be in Traverse City.
Mr. Raposo, we'll do questions in just a little while, okay?
I'm sorry.
Please don't use or possess any weapons of any kind for any reason. Don't display any threatening, intimidating, harassing, or violent behavior toward anyone. You're to be respectful of all court employees, service and care providers, including law enforcement officials, as well as the correction staff. You're not to operate a motor vehicle without valid license, registration, and insurance, nor where there'd be the presence of any alcohol, illegal substances, or controlled substances. You're going to be required to follow all conditions and terms of any pending cases within the state of Michigan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so the court did appoint an attorney for you, and he or she will be reaching out to you in the next couple of weeks, okay? They are going to accompany you to the probable cause conference. Watch for a call or an email from someone you may not readily recognize. We also have case 24-2116 SM. And that is also a fail to appear. That has a $100 bond on it. Let's see here. And Ms. Claxton, as far as this misdemeanor case, how would Mr. Raposo like to proceed on this?
Thank you. We've had a chance to review the charge and the maximum penalty, and we'll do a formal reading. He'll be pleading not guilty and requesting court-appointed counsel. As to the allegation of failure to appear, he would waive his right to a hearing and plead guilty to the failing to appear.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. So for this, we'll we'll also appoint a court-appointed attorney for this matter. We'll make a notation on the paperwork that you have the same court-appointed counsel for both cases in Grand Traverse County. So you have cohesive coverage. And for this, we'll leave it at the $100 bond, but we'll put down on here that in the event that you post bond on the felony case, this will convert to a PR bond so that you wouldn't have to post it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
We would ask that you follow all terms and conditions of any other open cases anywhere in the state of Michigan, that you not operate a motor vehicle without proper license, registration, and insurance. And if you have any changes to any contact information, it is your responsibility to notify the court, just like it is going to be your responsibility to continue to check your mail and stay on top of these appointments.
I understand, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're going to schedule this for a, Tiff, would we put it back at traffic court or would we schedule it for a pretrial?
That would be a pretrial.
All right, so the court will schedule this for a pretrial conference, and that will be on
5824. What is your location? 101. I'm gonna go around.
Tiff, should we schedule this for 10-4 as well?
I was looking at actually 10-10, but
10-10.
yeah. At 9:30.
All right, so October 10th at 9:30 a.m., we will send paperwork for you. That is an in-person appointment, like the probable cause conference. So you're going to have to make arrangements to get where you're supposed to go. All right?
Okay, yes, Your Honor. I'll make sure that happens so much. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Now, as far as the urine screen that you're going to have to do, that is at the New Direction testing facility. Let me look and see if we have, I don't know if we have reciprocal with, we don't. Not for a benchmark urine screen with Kalkaska. So today you're going to have to make arrangements. If you're processed out of the jail, you'll have to accommodate this testing. That would be between 6 and 9 p.m. today.
Okay. If I don't make it, like say I get, I'm sorry.
You're going to receive a referral form that has that location and the time that the testing would occur. For whatever reason, if you do not get processed out of jail in time to make the 6 to 9 p.m., you would have to do it tomorrow morning between 6 and 9 a.m.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And on each of these cases, we do have a note that you are waiving your rights as far as the fail to appear, and the judge will address that with you at the next hearing. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.